Let's start. Okay.
Cool.
So, welcome to this
Thanks.
recording of the White Owl podcast. I'm Mel Craven, and my guest today is Nick Hight. Now, I also know you refer to yourself as Yogamitra. Am I saying it
Yep.
right?
Yeah, Yogamitra. Yes.
Yogamitra. Yeah. So, do you want to explain what that means?
Um, so a spiritual name, some people um, some people might roll their eyes a little bit at a spiritual name, but it's like a
Not me.
really personal thing. So
Mm,
it's given to you and it's like a direction for your life. It's like
mm,
your own personal sadhana, your own personal practice, and it has a meaning and it gives you a trajectory, a direction for your life.
mhm.
So this particular name, if you just did a transliteration, it means friend of yoga. But for me, the name was given because it means one who helps with truth, higher awareness, and bliss. So one who helps people on the path of yoga. Yeah,
Truth, higher awareness, and bliss.
yeah, it's a
That
bit
is
to
a
live up to.
very special name. You are living
Yeah,
up to it. Yes. Yeah.
thanks.
So you can't take that name lightly. It comes with a lot of, yeah, blessings and meaning and power. Yeah.
Yep,
So who granted
yep.
you that spiritual name?
So I was in India. It was about 9 years ago in the Bihar School of Yoga. So that's from Swami Naranjan, Bihar School of
Hmm.
Yoga. So that's northeastern India. So yeah, and I
Mm.
was back there recently. So last month I was there for a few weeks. Yeah, it was really
Okay.
good
So
to
you just come back. Mm.
yeah, yeah. I was there at the end of June, start of July. Yeah, yeah.
Mm. So how was it going back there?
Um, Oh, it's always amazing. Um, it's an intense time. So they're chanting all four Vedas. So if you know what the Vedas are, it's like the origin of the Vedic culture. It's
Mm.
where or what like yoga evolved out of. So the first Veda, I'm going to get this right, the Rig Veda is about, I think, 5,000 years old or something crazy. So it was the first written document, I think, on the planet, possibly. Don't quote me on that.
Wow.
So they were chanting this continuously, like for 18 days, all four of them. So it's quite high energy. There's a lot going on. I did a course as well. So it's just like, it's a little bit like going to a yoga course or retreat here,
Mm.
um, but you're in a really, really supportive environment. So everyone who's there is just interested in yoga and yoga lifestyle. And every day you do the full spectrum of yoga. So it's not just the physical postures like the asana, you're doing like it's the food you eat, the way you're walking and the way you're being, the way you're communicating with each other, the breathing practices, it's the relaxation and the meditation, um, and the review of the day and all that sort of stuff. It's the whole works. So rather than just
Mm.
cherry picking out bits, it's the whole, you get the whole experience. So it's really it's a lifestyle. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So when you say they were chanting the Vedas for 18 days, was that going on in the background or were you doing it as well?
We joined in to listen just in the
Mm.
afternoons. We had a spare
Mm.
time, so I think we sat for about 2 or 3 hours in the afternoons. And once it finishes with a big like arati, which is like a celebration at the end of the day. And then we had satsang. So that's like when you get satsang basically means in the company of truth. So
Mm.
um, we're still sitting around. There would have been 300 people maybe crammed into this room. And so the main teacher would give satsang in the afternoons and we'd learn a bit more about the Vedas and we'd learn more about karma yoga, which is the course we were doing. So that like the yoga in life, in everyday life.
Mm.
Yeah, so it was quite an enlightening time. Um, you find though that you experience certain things when you're there and you learn things,
Mm.
intellectually, but things affect you quite deeply, and it plays out in your life for, weeks and months afterwards, if not years. So sort of, it has quite a profound effect going to a place like that for a period of time. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. I can see now how it's like, how do you bridge the gap between that's basically yoga on the mat? Well, it's
Yeah.
like in living it fully in the traditional sense. And then how do you bridge that and bring it back into your everyday life? I guess that be good to start talking about that because you're living that. Mm.
Yep. So it's an interesting topic because before, like, say, 1960, there was no yoga mat, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So yoga was exported to the West around, late 50s, 60s, it's that sort of era, especially to Australia anyway. Um,
Yeah.
there was no mat, there was no Lululemon, there was no yoga
Lulu.
straps, there was no yoga blocks, there was no products, right? And there was no brands of yoga. So now I think yoga's become this thing that we can consume. It's become a product, and we can do breath work, we can do yoga nidra, we can buy these different things, we can get a membership, we can get a pass, and we can buy these experiences. But in doing that, it's creating a separation between ourselves and the experience. Um, so in bridging the gap, I think, is we need to not associate ourselves, or disconnect, from the products of yoga or the styles of yoga or the brands, and
Mm.
step away from being a consumer perspective and start imbibing it more internally. So how do we do that though? That's the tricky question. Um, so we still need to do the practices, but it's about, the more subtle aspects of it and applying it to ourselves. So not so much, I'm going to go out and have an experience and I'm expecting to have this, this outcome. And
Mm.
I'm going to do, so many sun salutations, and because I want to lose weight or be more flexible or want to get fit or whatever. It's about, I'm going to ground myself, I'm going to become centered, and I'm going to find out who I am. I'm going
Mm.
to be more present, and then notice how, my presence in being with my family, or my presence in being grounded at work, or my presence in doing my yoga practice, like asana, like physical postures or breath work, um, how that changes the quality of the experience. So rather
Mm.
than, um, so to use the mountain biking analogy, let's go to
Yeah.
that aspect. Instead of saying, I'm going to ride this trail and I'm going to feel like this when I get to the end, you know, when we want to do something, whether it's surfing or skating or skiing or snowboarding or anything like that, we've already got a preconceived idea of what it's going to be like when we do it. Like I used to do a lot of rock climbing, and there's this mind frame you can get into. You see a really nice route, and you're like, I really want to climb it. It's a 3-star, whatever. It's going to be an amazing climb. And you've already pictured in your mind what it's like to be at the top. And it
Yeah.
creates a real barrier to being present while you're doing it. And then when things
Mm.
start to become difficult, you've got this horrible conflict starting inside yourself. It's like you see that picture, that goal you had is getting further away as the
Yeah.
thing becomes more difficult, and you actually self-sabotage. So, so like say mountain biking, you could be heading down a trail and you've decided, oh, this is going to be amazing. The book or the sign said it's like a 3-star, whatever. It's a great trail. Everyone says it's amazing. And you go into the first corner and you're like, oh, this is a bit faster or steeper, or it's more exposed than I thought. And then, the self-criticism starts, the self-doubt
Yeah.
starts, you start holding on tighter, and
Mm.
you're getting involved in the storyline and you're not present, you're not grounded, you're not here. And that's
Mm.
where the yoga comes in. So it's not just about creating shapes with your body being a pretzel on a mat. It's not
No.
just trying really extreme breath work. It's not about, being super relaxed all the time. And in fact, one aspect of the tradition I follow is skill in action. So
Mm,
being fully involved in life, like not trying to leave part of yourself out and say, oh, I'm above this, or I'm gonna remain calm and serene through all things. It's like, no, no, you throw
yeah,
yourself into life
I
and
love
be
that.
fully
Being
aware.
fully. Mm,
Yeah, so
mm,
um, and use your skill with awareness and action. So whether that's, a sport that you really enjoy, or making lunches for your kids, or
mm,
being present for your partner, or at work. So you can bring the presence that your practice helps to practicing yoga helps you to get better. It builds the muscle of awareness, and you can bring that awareness to what you do. Yeah,
yes, yeah. So that reminds me, like so many people in the West think yoga is just postures, asana,
yeah,
and now it's a bit more known that it's also breath work. But
yeah.
there's so many different limbs to yoga. So,
It's
you
massive.
know,
Yeah,
yeah. And I just think it could help everyone in their daily life by just being more fully present, learning to bring every part of you to not disconnect from your life, but to bring, like, what else are you bringing? Because you're not just being fully present, which is amazing, but it's like there's more to it than that. What else
yeah.
would you say?
Um, so I like to call it awareness. So a lot of people get hung up now with the word mindfulness because it's been so overused.
Yeah.
And so there's a friend of ours, he's a Swami in the tradition, Swami Ananda Kumar, and he teaches silent meditation retreats, and they're called the power of awareness.
Hmm.
And so he does yogic style meditation. Um, and it's about how you fine tune your awareness so you become present. But there's problems, right? When you become present, because all the stuff you're trying to escape is there.
Mm,
All the stuff that you're keeping busy by either like doom scrolling or eating or consuming, like going to a yoga class, although it's a good thing and it's a positive thing to do, could be a way of keeping yourself busy. So we
mm,
keep ourselves busy doing things all the time in this world that we live in, often because it's not that nice being silent and still and aware of everything going on. So we'll go back to mountain biking. If we're cruising down the trail and we're present with what we're doing, we have a relaxed focus, so it's not super intense. It's a relaxed, open focus. There will be space for the head trip to start. Like it will start. But it's like, okay, yeah, there's that story about, I don't know, whatever, I'm not good enough, or this trail's too hard for you, or well, I didn't like what we had for lunch today. It could be anything. But it's
mm,
not, seeing that, having the awareness and going, yeah, I don't need that right now. It's like, okay, I know you're there, bye. And you focus back on what you're doing. So the
mm,
awareness is a flip side to it. Like you get to be aware and fully present and with what you're doing, and you get to fully imbibe it. But the catch is you're going to have to be able to see all the other stuff that you don't want to see. You know,
mm.
you could call, and it depends how far you want to go with this conversation, but you're opening up sort of shadow stuff as well, right? You have to
Yeah, the
allow,
shadow. Mm-hmm.
and like an easy way to talk about that is like the inner critic, all that sort of negative stuff coming out. But um, but it has to be dealt with. Like it has to be, um, you have to see that it's there, and has to be accepted. Yeah,
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 yoga isn't all love and light. It's also looking at the shadow,
yeah.
the parts of
It's not.
yourself that you don't like necessarily, and having compassion and self-love for everything. And being the witness to it, right? Seeing it all.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah, the witness. So there's two it's like two wings of the same bird, as they say. So you have to have awareness and you have to have the witness perspective, the drishti, the ability to see everything happening without being involved.
Yeah.
Um, Another way to say it would be like vivek and vairagya. So vivek
Mhm.
is like wisdom. Wisdom is applied knowledge. So it's using what you know. So with the sport that you love, it's like, I know because I've learned these skills that I can do this. And the wisdom is actually applying it. And vairagya is not attachment. So you're not attached to the outcome. It's like,
Mm.
this time I'm gonna do one run down this mountain and I'm just gonna see everything and I'm not attached. It's just I'm just doing a recce, seeing how everything is. And the next time it's like, oh yeah, I've seen everything. I reckon I can handle it. I've got the skills to do it, but I'm not attached to whether I do it or
Mm.
not, right? Like you're going to enjoy it more if you're fully present without the head trip about, oh, I really need to do this. I really need to do that. I need to get faster. I need to be better. I need to hit the jump and get higher. You're going to be more present if you can let go of that
Mm.
and be non-attached. Yeah.
Yeah. So just letting it unfold. But I have to say, every time you talk about mountain bike riding, I get nervous.
Yeah.
Imagine me being there, being petrified. But
Well,
yeah, people can relate to
that's,
this a bit more confident than me riding their bikes.
but that's a good
Yeah.
segue. So,
Mm.
one reason I wanted to facilitate this experience at Blue
Mm-hmm.
Derby Pod rides, is is to help people get into a deep state of flow. But
Mm-hmm.
we also see a lot of people who come through who actually have the skills, but they can't get out of their head. And they
Right.
just need, and we haven't, on your regular trip, you don't have enough time, and not everyone on the trip is interested in using other tools of yoga or in meditation and that to help their mental state so they can go further. So we quite
Mm.
often see like there's lots of anxiety and fear and all sorts of things, but we know they can do it because we don't take people on trails that they're not capable of riding. Like you just don't do it, right? Because it's our job to look after everybody. So we know they can do it. And you can try and convince them till you're blue in the face, but until they have the internal experience, they have the confidence, it's not going to happen. So
Mm.
um, I'm really excited about this opportunity to go, okay, we've got these practices. We can do some breath work, we can help ground ourselves, we can do some relaxation, and we can learn to step out of everyday thinking, the automatic thinking,
Mm.
and switch into a different state and separate the two. It's like, oh yeah, this is my everyday thinking mind. In yoga or Vedic culture, they call that manas. It's really useful. Like it does its job. It's like a computer, and it's
Yeah.
designed to produce thoughts. That's what it does, and it does it really well.
What do they call it?
But
Manas.
manas, yeah. And then you have higher intellect, and um, that's what you want to step into at least
Mm.
some parts of the day if you're going to be happier. Like if you're just stuck in manas all the time, if you're just stuck in your thinking mind all the time, it's not that healthy because we get stuck on the hamster wheel and we can't get off. So part of stepping into flow is about this. Can't switch it off. And I think a lot of people come to yoga and meditation wanting to, they say, oh, I can't focus the mind, or I'm always overthinking. And to think they're going to switch that off or stop the thoughts is that's a wrong impression of what yoga and meditation is. It's a byproduct that if we stop feeding those stories, they get quieter,
Yeah.
but they'll still be there. They'll still be there. It's just the case
Mm.
that it's just like you turn the volume down. So when you calm the nervous system, the mind is naturally going to be calmer, but they'll still come up. But they'll be different,
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a really good point because people say, I can't stop the monkey mind. They think that to be a yogi or to practice meditation is to kind of reach that state of enlightenment where they're just one with all, which you can have glimpses of, but the monkey mind's always there under the surface. So I love that analogy of turning it down, calming it all down. Mm,
That's the interesting thing about talking to these swamis and yogis in India. It's like they have the same monkey mind.
mm,
These people have been practicing for 50 years, some of them, and they'll still talk about, oh, I had this head trip about what we got served for lunch or whatever. But the difference is they don't get caught in it for days and days and days or weeks or whatever. They go, oh, yeah, there's a story about this. And they have a tool to use. They've got resources to
mm,
manage it. They can use their awareness. And if they really get stuck, there's like physical practices. You can do yoga asana, like physical postures, or you can do some breath work. You can do
mm,
relaxation. There's mantra and stuff as well if you're into that. So I've got all these tools and resources to help them step out. They have to buy into it. And also they have the
mm,
wisdom of the philosophy that goes with it to give them the perspective that what my mind is telling me isn't actually true. This isn't a new thing. You can read like the most read book in the world, I think, is the Bhagavad Gita. It was written, I think it was 2,000, 2,500 years ago. And it's a story about Arjuna, who's this warrior, and he basically has a mental breakdown on the battlefield. That's the whole
mm,
premise for the story. And it's so
mm.
relevant today. Like, we've always had these problems,
Yeah.
like for thousands of years. And it's no different. The only difference today, I think, is it's more intense and it happens more rapidly because of the fast-paced life we live. But
Mm.
it's still the same mental problems. So,
Wow.
yeah,
I did not know that about the Bhagavad Gita. I can't even say it. Bhagavad
Bhagavad
Gita.
Gita, yeah. Or the Gita,
I
yeah.
did not know that was the main story, and
Yeah.
I did a whole yoga training. Why did I not know that? You have taught me much more in the last 20 minutes than I learned in my whole like 200 hours training.
Yeah, that's right. Um, I can recommend some good books about it, but yeah.
Mm,
Um,
mm. So he had a nervous breakdown on the battlefield.
yep.
Um, and then tell me more about that.
So then, so his charioteer comes in, who just happens to be Krishna. Just
Mm,
break, that's a good thing. Um, and he says you can do all these things. He lists them off. You can do karma yoga, you can do Raj yoga, you can do um, I can't even remember all the chapters now. All these different
mm,
branches of yoga to fix this problem. And as the book goes on, like there's 18 chapters, and it's like, oh, you
mm,
still haven't got it. Try this yoga. You still haven't got it. Okay, there's this one here. There's
mm.
like so many tools we can use. And but to make it achievable for everyday life, we need to break it down into capsules, right? Like into small bite-sized chunks. And so to like to filter down that wisdom, it's like, okay, you need to calm the mind, calm the nervous system. So Hatha yoga, which is asana and pranayama. Hatha is means sun and moon. So you're balancing the masculine and feminine energies. So you do that. And make sure if everyone knows who's done a yoga class, you stretch and you feel better, right? So that's good.
Mm.
So you need to do that, and you can do it in achievable amounts. You can do 15 minutes. That's achievable. You can do 10 minutes of pranayama, just something really simple. Nadi showed in
Mm.
it, alternate nostril breathing or humming bee
Yeah.
breath. Um,
Mm.
Relaxation, super important in our daily life. Like the world we live in is crazy busy. So we can keep calming our nervous system because we can't progress, we can't grow intellectually or spiritually or in any way if we don't come from a relaxed state. If we're stressed, we're not going to
Mm.
learn anything new. So the relaxation, we can do that like a 15-minute, 10, 15-minute relaxation is pretty easy. It's pretty achievable.
Yeah.
And then, we can do these other bite-sized chunks, which have subtle effects. So there's the practice of mantra, which some people are like, oh, is that religious? But It's not, so don't worry.
Oh, I'd love to talk to you more about mantra in a minute.
Yeah. So
Mm,
there's mantra, and um, and meditation, and there's and amongst that, so I clump meditation into um, review of your day, and 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 working out your goals for each day moving forward. So part of the one practice we've been given is review of the day and a
okay.
swan meditation. And swan is an acronym for strengths, weaknesses, aims, and needs.
Mm,
And you can sort of list these things off, and you have a main goal that you have in the middle that you're working towards, and you see what
mhm,
your strengths and weaknesses are around that. So to go back to like our everyday life experience, like putting this into everyday life, um,
mm,
you're on the mountain bike trail, and you go, okay, what am my aim is to get down this in one piece. What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What are my aims and needs? The strengths
mm,
are, well, I'm riding, this is a blue trail and I'm a confident blue rider, so it's within my ability. And my aims are like pretty clear. I want to enjoy this ride. I want to get down and be one piece. The needs are to stay safe. And the weaknesses, um, maybe I haven't ridden the trail before. So the weaknesses might be don't have the area knowledge. So it's pretty easy to solve. You go and do a run with someone who knows
mm.
it, and you just do a slow ride down and you check it all out and you go and do it again. So really simple way of breaking big problems down into achievable chunks. But this is
Yeah,
part of
that's
yoga. Like
mm.
it's not about standing on your head, you
Really?
know.
I thought it was. I thought that was the goal of yoga.
So
And crow
you
pose,
can,
right?
yeah. Well, it is, I mean, there's huge amount of benefits in standing on your head, but um, in everyday life, it
Mm,
might not fit into your day to do that. And the benefits you get from it or the benefits your family get from it may not, it may not warrant doing it. So,
right.
whereas if you reflect on yourself and how you've done through the day and you can say, I was getting triggered here, here, and here. Tomorrow, I'm going to try and remedy that. I'm going to try an extra 5 minutes relaxation or whatever.
Yeah,
And that's,
so you're using
yeah.
yoga tools to help you to stay relaxed, calm, aware, and able to change what you need to change to be a better person, really.
And
Mm.
it helps you become adaptable. So,
Mm.
um, Swami Shivananda, he was really into the itties. There's 18 of them, and one of them is adaptability. Um, I won't, I'm not going to go through all of them. It's a whole nother thing. But if we're relaxed and calm and not in a fight and flight response, we can actually adapt because we can go, oh, actually, this isn't filling my needs. This isn't fulfilling my aims or ambitions. So I'm going to like change course slightly. Um, and in that, I was going to add one more thing to that sort of topic. You would have heard of the yamas and niyamas.
Yes, I did learn
So
about those in my 200-hour teacher training.
yeah, so
Mm.
it's commonly taught through all teacher trainings, yamas and niyamas. Um, so those particular ones were formulated by Sage Patanjali,
Yeah.
and they're the Raj Yoga Sutras. And not that many people are aware of this, but those particular ones are designed for Raj Yoga, which is a yoga based on like a meditation based style yoga. And they're
Mm.
really hard. Anyone who's tried to practice them can say super hard to live these internal and external qualities in your everyday life. So,
Mm.
Swami Niranjan is actually, he's dug out of Hatha Yoga. They have their own yamas and niyamas, and each branch of yoga has its own yamas and niyamas. Who knew?
Oh, I did not know that. Oh, you told
No.
me something new again.
So this is quite a
Mm.
new thing, and he's only
Mm.
dredged them out of the scriptures recently and brought them to light
Okay.
because they're more relevant to us, the way we live. And like the Patanjali's yamas and niyamas, his prescribed ways of living are too tough for most people. So I'm just going to touch on
Mm.
the first two pairs. So yama is what we is the thing that we need to ascribe to or prescribe for ourselves, and then niyam is like how our behavior affects an external thing, right? Other people and that sort of thing. So the first one is mana prasad, and that means just being happy.
Oh, well,
It's
that's a
great.
good one. Yeah.
Yeah. So um,
Although not so easy for a lot of people, actually, Nick.
no,
Mm,
no, but it's something to aim towards, right?
yeah.
So it's giving you a direction. So the two that go together are manas prasad and japa. So japa is repetition of mantra, but
Mm,
the reason for that is because it disconnects the mind. So it's when we get
yeah.
stuck on our hamster wheel, the practice of
Mm,
japa disconnects. So it's about going towards with happiness and being open, not forced though. This is like you're not trying to suppress stuff. But
yeah.
and if we're stuck in a head trip, you can use japa or something similar to
Mm,
with the intention of disconnecting from that. So you could use some pranayama or something instead. You don't have to do the japa, but it's that idea of slowly working towards a happy state of mind and disconnect from
mm,
head trip. The next pair is shama and namaskar. So shama means forgiveness,
mm.
which is, I mean, that would keep us busy like all day, every day for the rest of our lives, wouldn't it? Like the amount of
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, for everyone.
That's enough.
Um, so
Mm,
it's forgiving people who like cut us off in traffic. It's forgiving people at the supermarket.
mm,
The list could go on. But
yeah.
Namaskar is nice. And this one was really easy living in an ashram for a while because
Mm,
everyone's already practicing these for a start. But in the ashram, everyone says Hari Om to everyone, which is it's the same as saying Namaste. It's effectively the
hurry
same
on.
thing.
Mm,
And so it's honoring, that divine spark in the other person, which
yeah.
is what Namaskar means. But how hard is that to do in our everyday life?
Mm,
The person at work who we don't get along with, or the person we meet in the street who's agitated about something. It's like, can we
yeah.
soften and
Mm,
offer our pranams to these people? But what these
yeah.
little qualities do is it slowly over time is heading us in a certain direction. So it's stepping
Mm,
us out of automatic everyday thinking and it's trying to imbibe positive qualities. So the whole outcome of yoga isn't enlightenment. Like that's something that's realistically it's unachievable for 99% of
yeah.
the population, right? It's about it's about becoming a complete whole person, a human, and expressing our best positive qualities, um,
Mm,
and how allowing that to express into the world.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's great. Yes. I think that's so much more accessible. You're right. The traditional nyamas and yamas are really difficult. Um,
yeah,
but this
like
is like,
ahimsa and things like
yeah,
that. Yeah,
yeah, that's right. Yeah. Practicing non-violence, and people take it to the extreme and won't even kill a mosquito.
yeah,
And like, there's all on for some people that's really important, but it's not accessible for everyone to take it to that extreme. So I like these qualities, yeah, moving towards happiness, forgiveness, and just practicing namaste or hari om. Like, you could be me, I could be you, and I acknowledge that we're all souls doing the best we can. Yeah, I really like that outlook. Mm. What was
yeah.
the
So it
fourth one?
changes it. Um, with forgiveness, namaskar, and japa.
Japa. Can I talk to you more
Yeah,
about that? Because
yeah.
Japa, am I right to say that is part of Kirtan? That's the
No.
singing? No. Okay, I got it wrong. You tell me. Because okay, you explain it more. Hmm.
So japa is literally just repetition of a mantra, any mantra. It
Okay.
doesn't.
So,
You could,
mm,
and it's to be clear, like the
mm,
mantras from yoga traditions, it's non-religious. So Hinduism has taken the things from like yoga and tantra, and it's
mm,
become religious but you don't have to believe in gods and goddesses and all that. So if you say Om Namah Shivaya as a mantra,
Yeah.
it's about the energies of that mantra. It's the qualities of the mantra. So it helps express a certain quality that's already within you. It's not about, it
Mm.
can be if you want to be religious about it, that bowing down to a higher force, if you like, but it's actually connecting to different energies and qualities that are already within us. And
Yes,
it's
I heard
about
you explain that at the Love
uh,
Fest,
Love
and
Fest.
that's the
Yeah,
first time I'd heard someone explain mantras in that way. That instead of singing about this god Shiva, you're relating to an aspect of yourself. So it's kind of like an archetype, or a,
it is. It's an
how else
archetype.
would you explain it? Mm,
It's archetype. So everything,
mm,
uh, but it's useful to have the images as well because to you can't sit and contemplate nothing in meditation, right? It's like
mm.
impossible. Um, and it's better, it's easier for our human brain to have something to focus on or look towards. So, a lot of religions are really useful in that respect. And yoga and yoga tantra has used these symbols and these images for that reason. It helps focus the mind. So like you can use like these yantras,
Mm,
which are the geometric representation. Like this is a Shakti yantra. And
mm,
then there's the actual like the statues, and then there's the images, and
mm.
but they're not seen as something external to ourselves.
Yeah.
But mantra and japa is the repetition. So if you have a mala, like you got a
Mm.
mala,
A
like
lot
a
of people know
rosary,
mala. Yeah.
yeah. So 108 rounds, you chant, and it's usually quite quick. So if it's om, it's just om, and you can do it out loud, you can do it whispering, or you can do it internally.
Mm.
But it's the intention is to disconnect from everyday thinking for just a period of time. So if you got
Yeah.
24 hours in a day, and we manage to disconnect from that everyday circus for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, that's something.
Mm.
Yeah.
Is
And
it
over
also
it,
the resonance of the
yeah,
sound? Is it like, because
yeah,
I've been listening to Jonathan Goldman's humming, like the power of just humming, and
yeah,
how activating the voice and the sound can actually affect the nervous system. Mm.
yeah, 100%. Um, any astrophysicist will tell you that we're all made up of vibrating particles, right? So
Mm.
that's how mantra works. It's a vibration. We're made up of different vibrations, and the mantra is a tuning fork,
Mm.
and it helps us to resonate in a certain way, basically. Yeah,
Mm.
without
Yeah, I
going
like that explanation. Yeah,
too
the
too
mantra's a
far
tuning.
into it. Yeah, yeah,
Okay. So, you know how you're holding up, was it a Shakti
yes, yeah.
head and the other? Yeah. Can you explain a bit more about that one? Can you hold it up
Yantra.
again? Yeah.
This is I'm trying to remember who this is, but this is a Shakti yantra. So there's lots of
Mm-hmm.
different types of yantras, and this is a tantra practice. So
Mm.
drawing them, so I did that one, drawing them, painting them, and then doing a meditation on them. They invoke certain qualities. So this is trying to remember the mantra for that. Oh, it's Chandi. So it's Sat Chandi. So this yantra and this Devi is about overcoming our opposites. So like
Mm-hmm.
passion and desire, and then repulsion, raga and dvesha, like pushing away and grabbing hold of. It's what we all have in this world. And the story, because there's always these stories in Hinduism.
Mm.
The story is she overcame these two demons, which were like the raga and dvesha, sort of the opposites, polar
Yeah.
opposites. Um, so that yantra invokes those qualities. So that's why I did it. And you
Mm-hmm.
can use it in your practice. You can do a practice called tratak, which is you gaze at the yantra. There's always a dot in the center of a yantra, and you gaze at that gently. You can do the same with the candle flame.
Yeah.
and various other forms, and it cleanses the mind. But it's
Mm,
it's good to be, you need to really do it with a teacher to start with, or some guidance, because it can be really cleansing for the mind. Like a lot of stuff can come out. So you just gotta be
okay. The
careful with some of these.
shadows. Yeah.
Yeah, just everything. Yeah, it can bring
Mm,
things up.
okay.
There's sort of
So,
guidelines around doing it.
yeah.
Yeah.
If someone wanted to start bringing yoga off the mat into their life,
Yes.
which tool would you suggest they start with?
I would start with turning your practices into capsules. So this is something from Swami Niranjan, making the capsule sadhana, like the capsule practice. So
Mm-hmm.
choose a couple of asanas, so making it really
Posture.
realistic. A couple of
Mm-hmm.
postures. Yep. Um, you can add more in if you have time on the weekend. So say like 5 or 10 minutes. And
Mm-hmm.
then choose one pranayama practice, like one breathing practice. You don't have to do it at the same time. You can do it throughout the day. And then try and fit in somewhere either a meditation or relaxation. So those are your like external practices
Mm-hmm.
that you're going out and you're doing. But then you need to cultivate the thing that you're going to carry through the day, which is um, your internal practices. So it's, cultivating or working with like one yama or niyama,
Yeah.
or keeping in mind your sankalpa. So sankalpa is like your goal or your aspiration. And then when you get to the end of the day, you're reviewing, how did I do? Was
Mm-hmm.
I able to forgive this person? Was I able to remain centered? Was I able to ground in this situation? Like, say, say you're stuck in traffic and you're getting agitated and everyone around you is getting agitated. You can sit there and get agitated and get stuck in the mind. It's like, or you can use these tools that you've got. It's like,
Yeah.
why not do some breathing practices? Like, you can just do some
Mm-hmm.
deep abdominal breathing. You could put on a pre-recorded yoga nidra for a bit, you know, and you can use these tools to help step out of everyday thinking. So yoga really comes off the mat when you start your practices in the morning. Um, you do some asana, you do some pranayama, somewhere in the day or in the evening, might do a short meditation or relaxation. But it's when you start, the boundaries between your practice and every day start dissolving a little bit. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and you start bringing them in. Um, so your awareness can become deeper about what's happening internally. What's my storyline? What's the inner critic doing? What's that story about? What's my intention? What's my focus? And coming back to that. So I think the real yoga is, as one teacher said to me, it's not how far you go, it's how you go far, right? So it's not
Yeah.
about getting to a certain point. It's not about achieving a certain goal. It's about how many times you return. It's like how many times you get back on the bike, sort of thing. So
Oh,
say if
yeah,
my
that's a great analogy. Yeah.
so if
Mm.
my intention is to say use one of the yamas and niyamas, say it's forgiveness.
Mm.
Um, and there's just one or two people you just, I just can't forgive them, right? But it's how many times you come back to it, and it starts off being aware of it. You're aware that, oh, I'm still hung up about this or that, or I've tried to, but I haven't. And then it becomes, yeah, I did, but there's still something there. And it's like, yeah, I actually have. It's like how many times you come back and
Yeah.
repeat that and
It's
and
that
sort of work
awareness.
that muscle. Yeah.
Mm. Mm. So it's having the goal of forgiveness, but not necessarily achieving it, just being aware that you're on the journey of forgiveness. Yeah. And you just keep coming back to it.
Yeah. So if we put it in the microcosm of like a sport they're
Mm.
into, I'm going to use mountain biking again.
Of
Um,
course.
it's like,
Mm.
okay, I've done a morning practice. I've got I've got some goals I've set. I've done a breathing practice. I'm riding this trail. I know what my aim and my ambition is, but I'm using my tools to step out of the inner critic while I'm riding. Oh yeah, you're there, that's nice. But I'm gonna breathe. Like, how's my breathing going? Am I getting uptight? Are my shoulders up around my ears? Or am I nice and relaxed and loose on the bike? Um, am I yes, am I relaxed? Am I focused? And where is my focus? And if it's not happening,
Oh, sorry, just turn this. My sound's dying here.
if it's not happening, it's like, okay, I'm going to hop off and it's going to sit in the bushes for 10 minutes. I'm going to ground and I'm going to get my breath right. And I'm going to jump back on and I'm going to do it again and
Mm,
see how that goes.
yeah.
Um, and so it's the same thing. It's like you literally getting back on the bike, you know, like,
Okay, that is useful. Are you,
mm,
when you run this, the pods, are you going to be implementing these things?
yeah.
So,
So what I aim to do is we'll do what would you'd normally see in like a yoga type retreat. So we'll have some asana like postures and some breathing work and some relaxation. And there's one meditation I'd like to introduce. But then out on the trails, I want to see how we can keep ourselves grounded and calm while having fun. Like, it's not about trying to float down every trail like this far off the ground and be enlightened.
mm,
It's like you're fully engaged in what you're doing. You're gonna like have a great time and you're going, yeah, I did that. This is awesome. But you're trying to cultivate positive qualities, right? So it's about being aware of the inner critic, the negative head trips, and the physical reactions to things that happen, keeping that awareness. And when it's too much, let's use some tools to balance it, you know,
yeah.
to balance it out,
And
to
while you're
turn the
saying
volume
that,
back down. Mm.
I'm thinking you can use that in parenting. You can
Yeah.
use anywhere in life where you've got that inner critic sitting on your shoulder. And just that first tool of breathing is probably the most accessible for people.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
like, what is one if I'm having a rough day, like with parenting or whatever, my own
Mm.
stuff, like I might come and do a couple of headstands, like literally. It really shifts, it literally shifts your
So
mental state.
handstands or handstands.
Oh, headstands, yeah.
Okay.
And
But if you're not
or
like
or
Nick, you might just start with breathing, but you go straight to
yeah,
headstands.
yeah. Or you could do there's a couple of really good simple breathing practices you can do, and it stops the hamster wheel right then and there, and you can
Yeah.
start again. The same problem's still there.
Mm.
You still got the screaming kid, or there's still lunches that have to be made, or whatever, but you're in a different space and you're having a different relationship to it.
Yeah. Do you want to share a breathing practice?
Sure. Um,
Because some people listening to this might, not be aware of yoga or pranayama.
yeah. So pranayama is a whole art form in itself, and it can get really, really, really complicated.
Mm,
But I know, and there's been a lot of studies into this, some of the simplest practices are actually the most profound.
mhm.
And I think just because this is out to a general audience, I think just abdominal breathing is
Yeah.
the best practice.
Mm,
And because not everyone actually knows if they're breathing into the abdomen or not. So just to give a brief intro, if you're breathing into your chest, generally you're in a triggered, heightened state. And when you're breathing in with your diaphragm into your lower abdomen, then you're going to be in a more relaxed state. You can't technically breathe into your abdomen. Your lungs don't go all the way there.
yeah.
But if you follow your bottom ribs around to your spine, that how far down your diaphragm goes. So it goes
Mm,
quite a long way down.
yeah.
Um, so the simplest way to do it is just start with one hand on your belly. So you can lie on your back have the knees bent so your abdomen's relaxed, or you can sit up, and you close the eyes, and it's simply counting backwards. You can count backwards from 10 towards 0. So as the breath comes into the abdomen, the hand expands away. And as you breathe out, the hand contracts back towards center, and you count 10. And you breathe in again, and you breathe out, and then it's 9. And in this way, you just continue towards 0. You can also visualize just behind the navel a small ball or a balloon. And as you inhale, this ball or this balloon expands 3-dimensionally on all sides, and it pushes into your belly, it pushes into the sides of your waist and into your lower back, and it fills the whole space of your belly. And then as you exhale, that all contracts back to center, just behind the navel in front of the spine. It might only take 3 or 4 breaths to help ground. And sometimes that visualization is helpful, especially if it's different for different people, but if your brain's really busy, visualizing can be handy. And then having that touch of the hand on the body, that extra sensory input, can be really helpful to bring you into the here and now. Yeah.
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 I feel calmer just having taken a few breaths now with you. It is so fast. So if you haven't tried basic abdominal breathing, try it.
Mm.
It can prevent you going from, up to, you might be sitting at like a 7 in your anxiety or your agitation, and it can just bring you back down, stop you escalating, I find, very fast. Mm.
Yeah. So your nervous system is like any muscle in the body. The more you work it, the stronger it gets, right? And unfortunately, we tend to work our sympathetic nervous system, our fight and flight response more with like sugar and coffee and stimulation and all the rest, being busy. So to keep a better mental health and to stay present, we need to work the parasympathetic nervous system. So
Yeah.
just creating the habit in your day of trying to come back to center regularly. And then
Yeah.
it becomes easier and easier, and you go deeper and deeper. Yeah.
And the more times you fall off the bike or step away from your center, come back, come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's just being aware of the need to come back. Mm.
Yeah. And not beating yourself up, you
Yeah.
know, um, if you lose it, you know, at someone at work or whatever. It's like, okay, you have to have forgiveness for yourself as well,
Mm.
and get back on the bike, do your breathing practices, and you just come to your journal at the end of the day. You can do your review of the day. Where did I fall off? How many times did I get back on? What am I going to do tomorrow?
Um,
Keeping it simple.
Simple and self-compassion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Ah, thank you for sharing that.
No
Okay,
worries.
can you tell me, Nick, where can people find you, and also where can we join you for Kirtan? You haven't really
Ah,
spoken
yes.
about that.
Um, so I'm doing trips with Blue Derby Pods rides. You can, I think we've got a link. We
Yeah.
can share that.
Mm-hmm.
So I do regular trips, but also we're doing a deep flow experience trip. So we're going to use a lot of these tools, um, as well as the best mountain bike trails and the best accommodation and all the rest to
Of
help
course, Derby, Tasmania.
facilitate,
Yeah.
yeah, facilitate an amazing experience.
Mm.
Also, for a few other things that um, we do Havan and Kirtan in our house once a month. So that can be found in Northwest Community Kirtan, and that's a Facebook group. And we also have a WhatsApp group as well.
I
And if
can
we
put
weren't running other things,
mhm.
sorry,
I can pop the link to the
yeah,
Northwest Havan Kirtan group below. Mm.
yeah. And if we're running other like yoga days and stuff, we put things there. Um, Yeah, and then we have got workshops and retreats coming up towards the end of the year and then next year as well. So we can,
Yeah.
but we'll put things on that
Okay. And where are
page.
you
Yeah.
holding the workshops and retreats? Is that at your house or at a yoga center?
We do yoga days here, so smaller things, and hoping to run some more retreats through Western Creek, so Meander Valley Yoga
Mhm.
out there, and hopefully more with pods as well. So watch
Mm,
this space. Yeah.
watch your
Mm.
space. And have you got a website? What's the best way for people to
Hmm.
contact you? Is it
I don't
email?
currently have a website actually.
Oh.
Um, we sort of fly beneath the radar in that
Fair
respect.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, you
Pros and
can
cons.
find you can find us
Mm.
on Facebook, um, and just send us a message if you want to know more. Yeah.
Yeah, is that
Mm.
your private Facebook profile or through Meander Valley or
That's my private one. Yeah. Yeah.
we'll put a link there if anyone wants to send Nick a
Yeah.
message and or if you want to ask any questions and you're watching this now or the replay, just write them in because Nick will be able to see them or I'll forward them to him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
I need to get you back again because yeah, there's so much wisdom. Like
So much more
everything
to
you
talk
said.
about.
Yeah, I wanted
Yeah.
to know more. Maybe need to
Yeah.
come
We could.
to shops.
We can. Yeah. We could dive deep into any of those subjects that we touched on. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So
Mm.
you'll come back. So,
Sure.
okay, great. I would love that. Yeah. I mean, we share the same state, but I don't see you very often. So I
Mm.
just, what a privilege to be able to connect with you now and to help the world via
Yes.
social media get to know you. And hopefully people will reach out, might attract some more people to your offerings and to the beautiful town of Derby and mountain bike riding,
Yeah.
the pods, Blue Derby pods ride.
Cool.
Yeah, but thank you so much. Um, is there anything else you would like to share? I used to get people to make owl sounds, but I realized that was a bit childish, even though my inner child loved it. So anything you would like to share before we say goodbye to
Yeah.
Facebook?
There's one thing
Mm,
actually.
yeah.
Have you listened to much Alan Watts? Do you know Alan Watts?
Alan Watts, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite, well, I can't really quote, I'm going to paraphrase it. One of my favorite things he talks about is how the purpose of music is not to get to the end, you know? And if that was the case, the best composers would finish like just with one swipe of the baton and it'll be done. And the purpose of dancing isn't to find a particular spot in the room. Both with music and dance is about being in the moment and being present and having awareness with just the whole experience that burgeoning and blossoming through us and around us. And I think that's a good description of what life is about. We get too hung up, like going back to the start of our talk, we get too hung up on like trying to purchase or consume experiences rather than releasing that and deepening in our awareness and being present and seeing the beauty that's right here and right now instead of trying to go out and go forward and go out and go forward all the time. Yeah.
Mm. Ah, yeah, that is profound. Thank you for reminding us of that. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, just be in the moment and enjoy the ride. And yeah, don't have to be anywhere but here. Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. Thank you for that. We'll have to find that quote and add it.
Yeah, I'll dig it up.
Mm.
Cool.
Beautiful. Yeah. Thank you so much. I know you've
Thank
got
you.
family and children
Yeah,
to get back to. So thank
absolutely.
you for taking time out. I'm going to yeah, end our Facebook Live and yes, put all the details below and just reach out if anyone has any questions about
Yeah,
taking yoga off the mat. What a great topic.
cool. thanks for
Like,
watching.
yeah, thanks for watching.